in the last session, we have formatted the table conditionally and also added some columns with the help of Copilot as a little teaser on what it really can do. And this time we're interested into formula search. So what kind of formulas might I need? What formulas can I identify and uncover with Copilot? As you have seen in the previous example, we have had Copilot automatically explain to us what kind of formula he's going to use and apply in order to reach the goal of adding another margin and a cost column for us. So this time we are just going to straight out ask him if we want to do something, how do we get there and what kind of formula might we need? So in this instance, how about if I want to inquire about profit trends, I want to know how I can calculate the month-over-month change in profit. So I'm going to ask Copilot exactly that. So how do I calculate the month-over-month profit? And shoot, we're going to be polite and nice and use a question mark. Even without the question mark, Copilot should be understanding what I want by the way it is phrased. If you have multiple sentences, of course, use signs in order to help him distinguish. So what Copilot is giving me is exactly what I wanted. To calculate month-over-month profit, you need to sum the margin from each month based on the transaction date. And here's how I can do it step by step. So not only am I getting all the formulas that I need, I'm also getting a dedicated and detailed step-by-step analyzation of what to do, a guide, if you will, and how to reach my target. We can also prompt, obviously, Copilot is thinking further. It's showing us how we can realize that with sample data if we wish. We can ask it to visualize that or how we would visualize that and so on. But let's try another example. This worked out very well. I'm quite satisfied with what it has shown me. Obviously, we would still maybe want and need to verify that, but just in order to understand and get somewhere from A to B with an explanation with Copilot is very useful if you're basically new with Excel or a novice, or you just don't know how to get to where you need to be. You know what you need to show, what you need to transform, maybe to your superiors, but you don't quite know how to get there, or just to be sure, have Copilot explain a formula to you. So let's try another one next, identifying top performing regions, for instance. So let's go with that. And we should maybe try to spell it right. Which region had the most profit? No, let's change that. Had the highest average profit. That sounds more challenging. Which region had the highest average profit? How do, or what kind of formula do I need? I am adding the second question because I do want to avoid that Copilot is taking reference to this table over here. I just would like a generic answer if I can. And since we have some regional components in our table over here, I was trying to make it not go for that. So it exactly tried to do that, which I just described. I can retrieve what region had the highest average profit, yada, yada, yada. But we have here the possibility to get an example with sample data. So let's do exactly that. I did not want Copilot to use something from the table, so I'm quite pleased that we had an error. I didn't want to change something in the table based on that. So let's have Copilot make up an example with some sample data and explain us the process right here in the sidebar, in the side tab, whichever you want to call it, as is. And again, we're getting an explanation. We can always copy the formula if we need it, and we can read what it was in the thinking process and how it would look or feel like in real life if we were to apply that. Obviously, we can go further. We have Copilot giving us the option to explain how to visualize the month-over-month profit from earlier, or how to calculate a growth rate even. But I suppose for our purposes right now, our need has been satisfied. If you're new to it, you just want to expand your knowledge about Excel formulas, I would suggest you try out interacting with Copilot and have it explain some formulas to you, some formulas and basic mathematic principles that you would need in your everyday life. It's a very useful tool, and you might learn something in the process, and obviously the assistant is going to help you get the process done quicker and easier and understand how it is done actually, rather than just have some AI fulfill a task on your behalf.